Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm just about to kick off assembling a Viking project, so given I've got a number of Dark Age boxes out, I thought it might be a good opportunity just to do a quick size comparison video, as it might be of interest to some people. So this is for Dark Age miniatures. I've mainly got Vikings in front of me, so we'll start just with the plastics, given that's probably what people are going to be using mainly to bulk out their force with. So this is a Warlord plastic Viking Herdman. Next to him we have a Gripping Beast plastic Viking Herdman. And the final plastic I've got is one of the Dark Age Irish Warriors from Wargames Atlantic. So all three of these miniatures are similarly proportioned. They're all an approximately equivalent height, a little bit of variation, but that's within a range of tolerance. We'd expect different heights of different individuals. The proportions and sculpts are similar enough that you'll be able to use them within units without anything looking too out of place, should you choose to. So if we just look at the two Vikings, if I can get that to focus, you could have those guys shoulder to shoulder in a shield wall, and if I can get that to focus a bit better, would not cause any concern. Certainly wouldn't notice that there were different manufacturers unless you're really paying attention. The Wargames Atlantic Dark Age Warriors box, I'll just say as an aside that I'll probably press gang a few of these guys into being Irish Kern for War of the Roses, because yeah, I think I'll be able to get away with that, and it'll be a nice little addition to add some variety to the War of the Roses stuff I'm looking at. But if you were a fantasy gamer and we're looking at doing Warhammer Norse Army, I think this box set would have you covered for most of the core infantry options except for the Marauders. You've got this dogs in this box which you could use in place of the giant wolves. You've got javelin options, sling options, hand weapons, shields, the whole bit. So anyone looking at that, perhaps give the Wargames Atlantic range a bit of a look. Alright, so it's probably not going to surprise anybody to learn that the Warlord plastic range scales perfectly well with the Warlord metal range. Yeah, I'm expecting you didn't need to be sitting down for that. So if we look at the miniatures in comparison, this is one of the Huskar models, plastic Viking Herdman, and a metal Berserker. Again, that's scaling pretty well with the Gripping Beast Herdman. And from Gripping Beast I also have one of the metal Berserkers from their jugular range. Now again, all scaling perfectly well. I mean, he is a bit beefier because he's apparently a very big angry individual who's working through a few issues. But that aside, he's roughly the same height, and while he is bulkier, the sculpting and the detail is in line with the other miniatures. So just putting him next to the Wargames Atlantic. So we have Warlord, Gripping Beast, Wargames Atlantic, and at that stage all these miniatures perfectly comparable, perfectly fine to use. Within a mixed unit you'd be okay to get away with the obvious exception that you've got Irish and Vikings, but I mean, well, that wasn't unheard of anyway. Final guy in the end is a metal Foundry miniature, Foundry Viking. And again, he's approximately the same height. However, he is a stockier sculpt than all of the other Rangers. This isn't necessarily an issue. He could just be a bigger lad, or you could say he's from a colder climate and wearing thicker leggings or an additional layer. Perhaps he's got a vest on over some armor or something he's wearing. It's easy to explain away. Alternatively, what I'm planning to do is just put these guys in the front rank of the units, because the solid units would have gone up front, I guess, had more of an impact on the charge and the smaller guys behind them. Again, having a few of these guys scattered through the unit I don't think is going to cause any issues, because again, people aren't all the same height. So I guess in summary, of the 4 Rangers represented being left to right Warlord, Gripping Beast, Wargames Atlantic and then Foundry, all the miniatures are comparable in scale, would work in the same unit, and they're all pretty much an exact sculpting size-wise, except for the Foundry ones, which are slightly stockier, but are still roughly the same height. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Hope everybody's well. Take care.